Hey guys, today I'm going to be making this video about 3 of the biggest mistakes that we are seeing in our one-take walkthrough videos and how to avoid them. The number one mistake that we're seeing is just over filming the house. So trying to get too many angles of any one given room. For these one-take walkthroughs, we really are just trying to flow through the house quickly and efficiently. So you definitely do not want to overshoot these. This is not like the cinematic video where you want to get 5 angles of the kitchen. You might have one shot of the kitchen before you're going on to the next. Okay, so for overshooting, we're going to use just the main level of this house, and I'm going to show you essentially what not to do. So if I'm starting off in the corner, this would be an example of overshooting this room. So I would film the living room, and then I would back into this corner, and then I would pan, and then I would come over here to this little dining room area, and I would go all the way around. And then I would spin and hit the kitchen. That is what we mean by overshooting. You don't need to do that at all. So for these one-take walkthroughs, I would simplify this entire room. I would cut it in half, basically. So to show you what I would do on a real shoot, is I would start off in here. We just walked in. I would pan from the stairs to the living room, get a nice walk in here, and then I would start panning to go into the dining room, and then I would go straight into the kitchen. I'm not getting 2 or 3 angles of every room. I'm just getting one nice shot. And then here, I would just pop back nice and smooth and continue to the rest of the main floor. The moral of the story is most of these rooms are just being filmed once. I'm not coming around this dinette, circling around and then going back into the kitchen and then coming back. It's just show it once as you're going through, and that helps just create a nice flowing video, and it also helps keep the length of the video down. So the one-take walkthrough shouldn't be 2 minutes long. They should be like under a minute every single time. So the second mistake that we see a lot of is photographers walking directly into the wall and then turning. And the result of this is obviously just the entire wall taking up the whole frame. And that's not a good look. So we just want to make sure that we're starting the turn well before we get to a wall or a corner, and you won't have that problem. So the second mistake, walking into walls and then turning, I'm just going to show you what that looks like and how to avoid it. So I'm just going to use this room as the example. I'm going to go into that corner and turn, and you're going to see what it looks like. So I'm going into the wall and then backing up and panning. That doesn't look good. I mean, because most of the shot is going to be looking at the wall. So what you'd want to do instead, if you were going to get that shot, is you would start your pan and you would start turning as you're going into the room. So the wall is never even an issue. So you never even see that wall. Just looks a lot smoother this way. And that's how you avoid the problem. Don't walk into corners. Just start your turn well before you get in there. So the third mistake is just being a little bit too robotic in your shots. So I'm going to show you an example of what that looks like and how to avoid it. So in here, a robotic shot would be starting back here. Can you see me, Nick?
I can see you.
Starting back here and doing a pan without even walking. I'm panning, now I'm walking straight. And now I'm stopping, now I'm panning, now I'm walking straight. You can see pretty much what I'm doing is just one movement at a time. I'm either walking or panning or walking. And this just, it doesn't look good. It's robotic. It's not smooth. For these walkthroughs, you really need to be combining your walks with your pans. So they're seamless movements. So I will show you an example of what that looks like now. Okay, so with all three of those mistakes in mind, overshooting, walking into corners, and being too robotic, I'm just gonna go through and film this entire floor and show you what it should look like. And pretend Nick is not there. So when we come in here, we cut in, and I'm gonna start with that pan over here into the living room. I'm not even gonna go into that corner, just because you don't need to. I'm going to show off the dining room and then come over here to the kitchen. I'm going to get wide so you can kind of see the flow. Just back right up. Backing out of rooms is a really easy move. You can back in and out of bedrooms or any dead ends. So now I'm going to come through here, show this little breakfast nook. I'm going to keep walking through. I'm not going to really get caught up in this room. There's a half bath over here, but it's not a priority, so I'm not going to film it. Keep walking through here into this sunroom. And once I get in here, I'm just gonna back up, reveal this room, and then go back to the stairs. And since we've already filmed all of this space, I'm just gonna make a direct route back to the stairs. I'm not gonna film a bunch of extra stuff, if that makes sense. There's me and Nick's camera gear, don't do that. You know what, I'll get one more angle of the living room here. And then I'm gonna start this turn, get a nice wide turn. It's a little closer than I'd like to be, but it's tight in here. And then walk up the stairs. So you can see I didn't overshoot. I didn't spend an abundance of time in any one room. I didn't walk into corners. Here I was a little closer than I'd like to, but with like all the furniture out here, it's kind of hard to swing wide. So I didn't get into corners and I didn't shoot any robotic movements. So if you avoid all those three things, then your video is probably going to be a little bit better. If you have any questions on any of this, just call me or Nick and we'd be happy to walk you through it.